Hi, my name is Chad Fonska, and I'm a Northwood Tech Welding Academy student. And my goal for this video is to reach any future students wondering if they would like to take this course and wondering if they would like to learn how to do MIG welding. This course is an amazing course for anyone who struggles with finding what they want to do when they're older. That was me personally, and I didn't know whether I'd like to weld, work at an office. I did not know. I personally thought hands-on work would definitely be what I want to do. So I guess, yeah, I didn't believe that I wanted to be in office myself. But for any of y'all, this class will be a good learning experience. So you know if you would really want to work in a field like this, or if this really is not for you. But at the same time, if it ends up being for you, it's a great course because it gives you half of the college credits needed um for the actual degree itself. And after high school, it's only an 8-month course, and you already have half of it done, so you don't even have to go the whole entire day most of the year. Right, so next we'll have our PPE, which means personal protective equipment. First thing is leather MIG gloves. They are insulated to withstand high heats created by the welding. Safety glasses, which you should wear anywhere around the shop because of flying sparks or debris. Next would be no-cut gloves, which are used with sheet metal or grinding. This is a skull cap used for any out-of-position welding. It is made so you don't get any burns on your head. This is a welding helmet. It is shade 10 and higher, so you don't get arc flash after striking an arc. And then you need your welding jacket. It has to cover your neck and be long enough to cover all of your arms. This is the machine we'll be using. It's a Miller, and it's a multi-process machine. It can run TIG, lift arc TIG, MIG, and stick. This is how you change the voltage. Regular voltage would be 19. And then this is how you change the wire speed. Regular would be 300. This is me showing off the ground wire. Goes all the way around and clamps onto the back. And then the gun is the positive. It is hooked up there, so it's fed wire, and then hooked up in the back, so it's electrically charged. This MIG gun is dirty right now, so it's time to replace the consumables. That's a contact tip, and that's a new nozzle, which I struggled to get on for a second. There we go. Test to make sure it works. The difference between stick and MIG is that's a stick. It's a limited electrode, while that's a spool of wire used for MIG. And that's the electrode. This is me turning up the gas, getting ready to weld. That's the regulator. You want it to be around 25. That's the snorkel. It breathes in all the smoke so that you don't have to. This is the steel I'll be using. It's warm or hot rolled steel. Not as nice as cold rolled. Okay, I'm setting my phone up to do the weld. And when you're welding, especially in a gap like this, you want to do something called toe tapping, which you'll see me moving the gun back and forth to the top end and the bottom end of the puddle so it reaches both sides and burns completely through. You'll even see that I ended up sticking it to the table near the end, so I had to hit it off. With MIG, it's pretty nice. You'll see you don't really have to scratch it like a stick. It just automatically lights as soon as you press the trigger, like you'll see here. See that phones don't do a great job at showing this because it's so bright. Maybe if I showed it through like a mask or something, it would be better, but I mean, it's still satisfying to watch the sparks fly. A good job of teaching us how to read print. Miss Gibson does a great job of teaching us the math behind what we'll have to do, like actually on the job, instead of math that people find pretty much unimportant. And I don't know, it's pretty nice to know that you have a class that actually is meaningful towards what you want to do in your life, and it will help you out in every every way. Like, it gives you the experience needed to get a job. It gives you what it will be like on the job. It will Mr. Lequi does a great job of simulating everything so that you know if you really would like this. You don't end up liking welding, this is a good chance to learn how to read print and learn how working in the trades really are. In my opinion, getting to the end of the weld is always the hardest because that's when it's the most fluid because of how hot it is. And it just doesn't want to stay at the end of the plate. Now that the weld's finished, it's extremely hot. So I try to blow it off a little bit with my hand, as you saw, but then I gotta hit it off the table with the vice grip because it's stuck to the side, which is actually a good thing because that's how I know I welded all the way through the metal. And as you'll see on the back, it's all the way through, which means it's a good weld. The face, it's a little inconsistent, as you'll see in a second. It's not the greatest, didn't have the same speed the whole time, didn't have a great wire angle, to be honest. But it shows you some defects in the welds. This is the backside, full burn through. This is actually a pretty good one of my better ones. Since it's flat, it isn't the hardest to get. This is an example of porosity in a weld. This is one thing you really don't want to get. This is a defect. Another thing is undercut, and this is shown right here. And this is another defect that'll fail your weld. In conclusion, welding is a pretty high demand job, and most welders today are in between the age of 50 and 65, which is right around that age of retirement, which means there will be a very, very high demand here soon for welders and machinists. And that means more people will be getting paid more in this industry, and that means there will be a lot more open jobs. You could look anywhere and find a job as long as you have the degree. And if you're good enough, you can make upwards to $80 an hour. That's pretty crazy. Like, you don't think of that unless you're a surgeon. Another great thing about this class is that, like I said before, it's half of the college credits needed, and so I mean, what better can it be, saving $3,000 on top of having half of your college already done in high school. And the last perk I think is it's a great time. It's fun. It's a great class, and it's the only class I think that I've actually thought it will impact my life in the future. Like, school's not my favorite, and that's kind of what this class is for. Is for people who don't really like school. They want to do hands-on work, and they want to feel like what they are doing is actually accomplishing something that isn't just a test score. It's something meaningful. It's a skill that you will keep for the rest of your life. But that's all I have. Thanks for listening.